I don't know how to sit.
I know.
Is this
same.
okay?
Why do gay people have such a hard time sitting?
This isn't therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This isn't therapy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hi.
And welcome back to another fun,
Flirty.
dangerous episode of This Isn't Therapy.
The podcast dedicated to all the stuff people are talking to their therapists about. I'm Jake Ernst. Who are you? I said your line. Weird. Okay,
I
go.
don't know where I am.
Yeah.
My name is Simon Palick, and
Ah.
I'm not a therapist. This is a backwards world we're in.
Yeah.
My
Let's-
name is Jake Ernst, and I'm a therapist. Who are you?
My name is Simon Palick, and I'm not a therapist, but that's okay.
Hee hee ha ha.
Because each week on this podcast, Jake and I, we're just two friends who like to have conversations about therapy themes. So each week on this podcast, we get these here grubby little paws. Okay, we put them on. We reach, first we pull back the therapy curtain.
Right.
And then we reach into the therapy room. We pull out a theme, a factoid, a question, a query, a quandary, something that is floating around in the culture. And then we just have a casual Kelly Couch conversation about it. Why?
Well, it's because therapy
Therapy
themes
themes
are everywhere you look.
That's right.
And this week,
Yeah.
we are talking about the highs and lows
Of-
of maintenance.
Oh, of maintenance.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like that. Of.
Being high maintenance
Yeah.
and being low maintenance.
Ooh, both of these come loaded with like, you know,
highly.
highly loaded.
Loaded,
Low,
exactly.
highly low
Did.
did.
I've always said that. I've always said that. So we're going to get into the ins and outs. We're going to get into the ins and outs of that very question of like, what does it look like to be high maintenance and
Yeah.
low maintenance? And kind of what are the in-betweens? Because I think these are like cultural terms that we've
Yeah.
heard. They're obviously not like psychological
Yeah.
psychological diagnoses.
Mhm.
However, I do think they function kind of-
Iridocyclitis.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, that's probably the best vine I've ever remembered.
Iridocyclitis.
Iridocyclitis.
Do you know how to spell it?
Uh,
because of that?
no.
Okay.
But it is a spelling bee vine.
Iridocyclitis.
Anyways. Whoa.
Somebody find that.
Yeah.
Before we get into our first segment, what brought you to this talking about high maintenance? Because I piggybacked off you because I saw that you were like, I'm going to do high maintenance. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do low maintenance. Oh, wait, other way around.
Can
I
I-
saw you doing low maintenance and I was like, oh, I got to do high maintenance.
Can I tell you in the first segment? Because I think it actually like kind
Oh,
of
okay.
weaves into what this is all about.
For sure.
Yeah. Can we save it?
100%.
Cool.
You know what
Okay.
I'm seeing? A boundary.
You know what I'd like to save? It. Yeah. Okay.
You're always saying that.
Okay. Yeah. BRB.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're at the first segment.
Listen, I've been wanting to say this forever, y'all.
Calvin, I'm chomping at the bits. I
Okay,
need
so
to
one of
know.
my new habits,
Yeah.
unhealthy, in
Okay.
on brackets,
On bracket.
is scrolling on Reddit, and I just
on
have,
your phone.
yeah, I've just on
Yeah.
my phone, yeah,
Dangerous.
I've just been reading. I've just been reading what people have to say.
About what?
I've just been surfing the comments, just surfing the web, kind of like all the like Ask Me Anything boards, like people who are kind of like going through like relationship things.
Mhm.
It's kind of like my version of what the girls are reading right now. I think a lot of them want the romance novels. Mine is Reddit forums.
Wow.
Anyway, I'll just find myself like in bed, like, wait, how did I open up that app? And so
Yeah.
anyway, I find myself in Reddit.
Do you find it relaxing? Or do you find yourself like, well,
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
That has nothing to do with me.
Okay. Sorry, Your Honor? Your Honor? I'm just asking questions.
I don't know. That's maybe something for me to look at. I'm not sure.
You don't have to. Also, you don't have to.
That's true. In any case,
Also, enjoy your Reddit.
this first story
Mhm.
comes from the wonderful world of Reddit.
Yeah, I love that.
And it is from a post that it was titled, I regret being the low maintenance girlfriend. And I saw that headline and I was like, whoa, what's that about?
Okay.
And so Reddit user says, what follows? Reddit user has this to say.
Okay. One
And
more. Give me one more.
Yeah,
Give me
exactly.
one more.
The Reddit user typed this out on their laptop.
Cool.
And I read it. Okay. And it goes like this. I used to pride myself on being easy to date. I didn't need much reassurance. I didn't complain when plans changed. I didn't ask for much time or attention. I thought that made me mature. What it actually did was teach my partner that I don't need effort. Now, when I ask for more communication, more affection, more consistency, he looks confused. Like I'm suddenly changing the rules. He keeps saying, "You were never like this before. You were so easygoing."
Oh.
And he's right. Before, I swallowed everything. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think I trained him to love me in the smallest way possible.
Oh my God.
I read that and my jaw was in the basement. I felt immediately, I was like, oh, shoot.
I know.
Because number one, I think it's so relatable. What happens when we diminish our needs or diminish our value or worth to the point where it gives us that currency of like connection, where people like us more when we're like the smallest version of ourselves. And so I read that. I was like, okay, I have to read what the comments say. And so a lot of the comments are sort of along the same line of thinking, which is what I was also thinking just from that therapy lens, which is we accept the kind of love we think we deserve.
Perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah. Where we kind of show up in that way because we think that's all we're worth or all we deserve. And I just thought like, dang, that's so painful. That's so sad. And then I kind of just think about, you know, the title of EP around being low maintenance. And I'm like, sometimes that probably benefits us. And sometimes it probably, in a really slow burn kind of way, really impacts or erodes the connection that's there.
I like how almost like very self-aware this person was to sort of say like when their boyfriend was like, well, you didn't used to be like this. Why are you asking like this? And to say like, yeah, no, I wasn't. You're right.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like that self-awareness piece because you could, I'm just like, I'm almost like, what do you do now?
I'm kind of like interested by the like, and I thought that meant that I was mature. It's an interesting kind of connection, right? Between this idea that if I don't ask for anything, or if I don't have really loud opinions about something, or if I don't like state my needs in this really obnoxious way, or even in a way that maybe burdens someone else, then I can come out of it feeling like I'm together and I'm mature.
Do you think that's like, I'm extrapolating? These are my extrapolating.
Honestly, extrapolate away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this like fierce independence? Like, is this like a,
Maybe,
branding of like, oh, if I can take care of myself, if I can meet my all my needs by myself.
Yeah.
And then my partner will just kind of be beside me.
Yeah.
Is this, we've kind of talked about this where it's
we
like
have.
Relationships are relational, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not.
It's in the definition.
Like, but I think we forget, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we've talked about like, the opposite side, one end of the spectrum is like codependency, where it's like, I can't do anything without my partner. Then the other side is like such a fierce independence where you're like, I don't take into account the relational aspect of being in a relationship with another person.
Maybe
as part of my decision making.
I see it more as neglect.
Say more.
I see it more through the lens of my needs don't matter, my feelings don't matter, my opinions don't matter. And so therefore I'm just going to either be quiet or private about that. And so I'm going to hold back. And I see what you're saying. It looks like that's independence. It looks like I'm going to handle this on my own.
Okay.
But I hear kind of more of the sad undertone of it, which is like, I need to sort of play small because I'm neglecting my own needs, because maybe that's what I was taught to do. And so if this person maybe in a really young age didn't have their needs validated or their needs met, they may have learned along the way that their needs don't matter as much, or their opinions don't matter, their feelings don't matter. And so therefore, when you're dating, you get the benefit of being like, see how easy I am? I don't care where we eat. No, it's all good. I don't care.
I'm not like
that.
other girls.
Oh,
Isn't that like pick me? Isn't that like a pick me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily see this like desire for uniqueness in there. I see the psychological undercurrent of that, which is that I think that some people find it easy to be easy and need less. And so people, like you're saying, kind of on like the partner side of that, there's a bit of a currency that you get when you're dating, right? You kind of get to be this like, oh, I'm an easy date. I don't really care if we go to the movies or if we go out for dinner, or when I'm in a relationship, I don't really care. Like, I'll just do all the dishes. That's fine. Or yeah, that's fine. You can go out with your friends and I'll just stay home. That's totally fine. All good. Yeah, I'm easy. Where in a way you're kind of quietly eroding your own needs that are there. And so I liked where this Reddit user was also talking about kind of the opposite, which is that, and then when I started to assert myself or value myself or have needs, people noticed. And that's what I would say is like the dead giveaway for when you're healing and changing and growing, people are going to have reactions to that. And it may not always be the reaction of go you. That's amazing for you. I love that change for you. The reaction might be, whoa, you've changed. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Whoa, you're speaking up a lot more. I don't like that.
Right.
This is new for me. I'm not sure I really like this new version of you. Right. So it does kind of require like a reintroduction when you do make this bit of a switch where you're coming into yourself or maybe honoring yourself in a more assertive or self-assured way. And so I think that's what this user was talking about. But in a way, I really resonated with that idea of like, in order to secure the most love, I had to be the smallest version of myself. And it should be the opposite, right? Which is that when we are our biggest self, that is when the love we deserve comes to us, and that's what's for us. I don't know.
I don't know, kid.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're eating for dinner, but I'm eating that.
I'm eating that.
I'm having a hot plate of that.
I'm having that.
I'm having a Jakey Truth sandwich for dinner. That's what I'm eating.
So
a big old pot of Jakey Jambalaya.
Jakey Jambalaya.
That's what I'm having tonight.
Please welcome to the stage,
Jakey Jambalaya from the House of Gumbo.
Grant, don't put that online.
Yeah, that is not the bit.
I just did a weird shake, and you don't want that anywhere near the internet. Except on YouTube. Please go watch on YouTube.
But you can see the full thing on YouTube.
Jakey
Jambalaya. So you're doing it again. Got it.
Shout
so wait, Grant, now you can put it as a soundbite. Yeah, it's a reel.
I'm being high maintenance.
Oh no, I'm in a reel right now. I'm trapped.
No, it's okay. I'm low maintenance. Yeah, it's cool. Everything's fine. Cool. Yeah, put it on. Honestly,
okay, wait.
Grant, put it on.
I have I guess a final question.
Yeah.
About the low maintenance of it all.
Yeah. The low. Yeah.
The less so a question about like where does that come from, because I think I understand. Yeah. I think we can all kind of figure out where that comes from.
Yeah.
But more so, is there ever a situation where there is value to
like to shrink yourself?
To shrink yourself outside of like a survival thing. Like, where's the line between I need to walk into a room and let everyone know my needs, and to the opposite side, which is I have to make myself really small so I don't get seen? Like, where's the balance where I can, take up space, but I can also give space?
Love that question. I think that's a great segue into the next story. But before we do, I'll just sort of answer it quick. And then we can play the analogy out.
Yeah.
So if we think about a balloon.
Answer it as a haiku. No,
yeah,
kidding.
1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
575.
If we kind of think about a balloon, we want to inflate ourselves to the right size for the relationship or the situation that is required of us. Sometimes people overinflate that balloon, so they take up too much room and space in that relationship, which we'll talk about in segment 2. But then to your question, sometimes we deflate ourselves to this point where we're like almost invisible or unseen in those relationships by design, in a way that psychologically works for us to go unnoticed. I would say sort of the equivalent of that is almost like playing dead, right? Like where there's that freeze or really stuck shutting down response where, again, needs are not known because they're not stated.
Right.
So it sort of becomes that like closed mouths don't get feed.
Like cow feed.
Sorry, I had the wrong tense.
No, listen.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
You hear that, cows?
Yeah, exactly.
You hear that, cows? If Farmer Jakey's walking by,
closed mouths don't get feed.
And your down mouth is closed, you ain't getting that feed.
You don't get that feed.
All right?
All right, Beatrice.
Open that mouth, Beatrice.
Exactly.
Let me put some of this seed down your gullet.
So here's what I've always said. Closed mouths don't get feet.
Grant, don't make that.
Put it in.
It will be the real.
Yeah,
It
put
will
that
be
in.
the real.
And so
Okay.
when we shrink ourselves to the
Yeah.
point where we're not getting feed or fed,
Yeah.
that can start to show up as that hunger, right? Where we want our needs to be met, right? And so that is where I think the inflating deflating analogy would make sense.
Okay.
So let's
Let's go to segment 2,
Let's
but I
segue.
want to put a question. I want to pin it to the board. I want to make sure we answer it. How do we know if we're inflating too much or deflating too much? Like, what's a good indicator?
talk about that in segment 2.
I know. That's what I said.
Oh,
You're not
Ah!
listening.
I don't know how.
That's why God gave us 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth. Segment 2.
Okay.
Okay, so we're continuing the conversation about maintenance.
What
but this
was the
time we're gonna
question?
talk about high maintenance.
Kidding.
See, I forgot it.
I'll behave. I know.
Oh, you know that you know it.
I
Okay.
forgot too.
So
I'm sorry.
I did a little bit of a
Forgive me.
dive talking about high maintenance, and I found an article on Psychology Today by Jeremy E. Sherman, PhD,
Mm.
and it was talking about how people quit being high maintenance. I'm going to take an excerpt from it, and I'm going to read it.
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say, I'm going to take an excerpt from an expert
That's what I should have said.
about exceptionalism.
Er.
Exceptionalism.
I'm going to take an excerpt from an expert about exceptionalism.
Thank you.
And it goes like this. People challenge us, our plans go awry, our inner voices berate us. We need a coping strategy, a way to keep our mojo fuel protected and self-esteem from leaking out. If you pronounce yourself exceptional, you don't have to put up with any challenges to your character, at least from outside sources. When people challenge you, you can pull out your exceptionalism card. When situations go badly for you, you don't have to take responsibility for them. Things go wrong for other people because of their character flaws. But since you're exceptional, you're exempt from character flaws. When things go bad for you, you're just a victim of circumstances beyond your control.
Oof.
Yeah, so maybe you can help round out what exceptionalism, my understanding is exceptionalism is the thing that's behind like being high maintenance.
Yeah, it's a sort of undercurrent of I'm the best.
Yeah.
And
I deserve these
Yeah.
exceptional things because I'm exceptional.
Yep. When other people mess up, it means that they're the worst. When I mess up,
Mhm.
it just means it's, I've had a bad day. It's, a one-off,
Right.
but I still remain exceptional or the best.
Okay.
And so high maintenance, let's just talk about needs in general. We all have our basic needs that we have throughout our lives, right? So there's the basic ones like food, water, shelter,
Mhm.
safety. Then we of course, have our more like psychological needs for love and attachment and companionship. And so needs, as we're kind of talking about this example of a
Mhm.
balloon being inflated,
Mm-hmm.
people that maybe have their needs overinflated might be walking into that room thinking that their needs are the most important in the room.
Mm.
And so in this example around exceptionalism, it's sort of an interesting example, right, of perspective taking and the fact that we live in this shared world where your needs aren't always going to be front and center
Mm.
because you're not the main character, and your needs aren't always going to be the ones that everyone focuses on.
Mm.
And so sometimes what can happen when this sort of like quote unquote high maintenance person,
Mhm.
I mean, just for the record, I don't think that word really does anything other than judge people or criticize people for behaviors that just have made sense to them in the past.
Mm.
But I digress. I think that when people
I'm like so tempted to be like, no, keep going.
don't digress,
Don't digress.
follow it,
Jakey, you
Go
see
down-
that trail?
go down the rabbit hole.
Go down the rabbit hole all the way up that soapbox.
Okay,
Climb
maybe
that
we-
ladder on top of that soapbox and start preaching.
Honestly, I might. This
After
might be,
last week?
this might be
After
the time.
last week with me?
This might be my time.
This might be your time.
I just forget your question. I was trying to weave it into about inflating that balloon, deflating that balloon,
Yes.
maybe walking into that room as that person that's like, my needs are the most important.
Yeah.
I think that means that sometimes those people are more prone to being more particular or wanting control.
Right.
Right. So this can have some perfectionistic or maybe obsessive compulsive tendencies to it, where people just overinflate
Mhm.
their needs, or the anxiety itself, the stress,
Mm.
might also overinflate to the point where it clouds their judgment around what they need or how they behave.
Yeah.
So in any case, I think your question was sort of like, how do we strike that balance between the two?
Yeah. How do we
And
know?
how do we find that middle ground where
Exactly.
we feel like, to me, it comes back to communication. It comes back to when you're communicating with your people, with your person, you can put your needs front and center when they need to be put front and center.
Mhm.
But it does mean that we have to also accept that someone can't meet our needs 100%. That isn't the goal of a relationship. So when
Mm.
people come into a relationship and they're kind of like, oh, I don't feel like my needs are being met, we also have to look at what is that two-way street dynamic that's happening. And what are you expecting from your partner? What are you expecting from that person? And so when people kind of get labeled high maintenance, that might be another way of saying you're too needy, right?
Yeah.
Your needs are too high and it's like impossible for me to meet those needs. You're really high maintenance, you're too particular. Maybe you edit a lot or you criticize or judge a lot.
Yeah.
I think that what that can mean is that sometimes that person just doesn't have the tools to be able to deflate themselves to that level
Mhm.
where they can also participate in meeting their own needs or
Mhm.
regulating their emotions so that they can be in that shared space.
That sounds like a control piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I see
Highly,
a little
yeah.
control just hanging
Yeah.
out there in the corner, being like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. And so there's this thing called the control paradox that happens in a therapy relationship, but it also happens kind of in these scenarios we're talking about. So the control paradox is where we want more control. So we try to get more control,
Mm-hmm.
but then we lose control by trying to get more of it.
Mm.
Right. And so we tend to spiral or start to lose control the more stuck we get in trying to maintain a sense of control.
Right.
And so I think in that inflating process, we tend to want to get control because if we can inflate our needs and inflate our voice or have more eyeballs on us, more attention,
Mm-hmm.
then we think that that's going to secure the connection. We think that's going to make people stay. We think that that's going to make people like being around us more. But what tends to happen is that can be off-putting, right? So people want or may not want to spend as much time with us as a result.
Right.
Right. So the controlling nature of a relationship can also mean that you're losing control and therefore people don't want to spend
Mhm.
so much time with you.
So how do you take inventory of, okay, this is the time to express a need and
Ooh.
hold on to it?
Ooh.
And also, how do you also be like, oh shoot, I am like other side of it. I'm making this everyone's thing.
Well,
when
let's
it
make a
doesn't have to be.
distinction.
Like, how do you?
Let's make a distinction. Is
Okay.
it a need or is it a want? Needs are things that are fundamental to your well-being, to
Mm.
your survival, and wants are desires, right? And so when we override our desires, that may be the work that needs to take place,
Mm.
which is that like, yeah, you might think you need it, but it's more just that you want it.
Okay.
I think about some of the examples just because I work with teenagers. These are obviously extreme cases, but I think about kids who are kind of like, I need the iPhone 17. I'm kind of like, well, you want the iPhone 17. You don't
Right.
need the iPhone 17.
Right.
But from that difference between need and want,
Yeah.
I can understand this idea of it becoming a need, right? Because for some kids, it's like fundamental to their social survival.
Right.
They have really sort of like been so wrapped into that process of like, I actually do need this because
Mhm.
this is what's going to get me the social currency that's going to get me the friends or make people think that I have money, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In any case, I think that we're just not so good at figuring out the difference between need and want,
Mm-hmm.
but wants are more about our desires, more kind of those inner drives,
Okay.
whereas needs are the things that we need, right, in order to access well-being or access that survival piece.
Okay. So second layer to this, to just go a little deeper. So in the exceptionalism article,
Yeah.
from the expert,
Mm-hmm.
we sort of talked about it as like a coping strategy to, like, let's say you made a mistake or something bad happened at work. So I can understand the needs and wants example with like an object or, something.
Ooh.
But what if it becomes something that's a little bit more behavior oriented? Like, oh, we flunked that presentation, that group presentation, and it was all of yours fault. I didn't participate in that because I'm the best, right? Like,
Yeah.
then how do you navigate something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a sort of question around like self-awareness and accountability,
Mm.
that sometimes in the overinflation of our needs and desires, what tends to shrink is our sense of self. And so what goes along with that is our ability to self-reflect, our ability to take accountability.
Yeah.
So sometimes when our wants and needs take center stage,
Mm-hmm.
we're not fully connected to self. We're not fully aware of, well, what was my role that I contributed to that? Sometimes the emotions that get inflated along with our needs and wants can cloud our judgment, right? So things like this happens in narcissism commonly, where there's an overinflation of self and a devaluation of self, or a deflation of self, and this sort of like over big inflation of like the power control that you require in order to maintain connections. And so I think it's really about how sturdy is that sense of self while those needs and wants are being inflated and deflated. And so when you think about like high maintenance versus low maintenance, we have to start looking at those as strategies. Those are strategies that people use to get connection, to get safety, to get belonging,
Mm-hmm.
to get relationship, right? And so they both have their pros and cons. The cons, of course, of being low maintenance is that your needs go unnoticed and they don't really get recognized by other people, so they don't get met.
Yeah.
The high maintenance stuff is that when you overinflate your needs, then that can also be off-putting or make people really tired in their pursuit of helping you or meeting your needs.
Yeah.
Your question around striking the balance, I think, is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And your other question around what should we say when we need those, when we want those needs met, I think is another good one. And so here's sort of the wrap up, which is that there's a good script that I typically follow when I do this work.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's I feel blank, which means I need blank, and so I will blank. That covers the awareness, so that's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That covers the needs, which is the middle question.
Mm-hmm.
And it covers action, which is the last piece. And so what I'm going to do about it. So that's the accountability or the taking action component of that.
Mm.
I'm feeling blank, which means I need blank, and so I will blank. So here's an example. I'm feeling tired, which means I need a nap, and so I will have a rest.
So I will go dancing.
So I will override that instinct,
Yeah.
and I will ignore my. No, I'm kidding.
And I will.
Yeah.
I will binge watch all of Real Housewives.
And so I will stay up late scrolling on Reddit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's a good. I know it's a joke, but it is a really good segue into kind of what happens, right, when we ignore our needs. We kind of go down that rabbit hole of ignoring how we feel, ignoring how we need, what we need, and ignoring how to take action. So we neglect all those three components. But we do this every single day, right? Like I'm feeling hungry, which means I need food, and so I will have a snack.
Yeah.
We do this formula all the time, but sometimes just breaking it down that way can help us get out of that cycle of feeling too low maintenance or too high maintenance for other people.
I can also see even just like doing that practice helps you also tap into what the need is behind the feeling.
Exactly.
Right? Because I think sometimes you're like, oh, I'm feeling lonely. And you're like, hold on a second, I'm feeling lonely. So that means I need something.
I need social connection.
I miss my friends.
Yep.
So I need to hang out with my friends. So I'm going to call them. Like,
Exactly.
I feel like it can help you.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Exactly.
Wow, we've like figured this out.
We've cracked the code.
Yeah, and there's no paywall.
No, the best part about this,
Yeah.
it's free.
It's free.
It came to you for free.
It was a free source.
It was free. Don't freesource me.
I love a free source.
Not freesource.
Free source.
Have you ever been getting those marketing emails? Is this what this comes from? Or is this from us?
No, you said this.
I was going to say, did we talk about this?
Yes, you did. You gave a free source, the mindset quiz.
The
from
mindset
a couple
quiz
episodes ago.
was a free source.
Yeah, it was a free source. And I was like, oh, love that. Is
My-
this a marketing thing? I thought you came up with it.
No, my first reaction was, don't freesource me.
Yeah.
When we just like smash those words together.
Free
so,
source.
so silly.
Wait, didn't you come up with that?
I don't know, probably.
I don't know.
Or maybe not.
Who knows?
I'm sure other people are giving out free sources.
Somebody fact check.
It sounds like a dinosaur.
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
it does. I heard it here first from you. So therefore, in my world, you came up with it. Just like you were the first person to tell me that cell phone and social media litigation will be our tobacco litigation of our generation. And then, like, lo and behold, 4 years later, it's happening.
Clock it. That was a long time ago.
That was you.
Clock it.
Heard it here first. Heard it here first.
Smart.
All right, let's go to the final tried and true segment.
Let's do
Let's
it.
resurface.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap. The girls are back. Okay.
Ooh.
At the end of every episode, we like to resurface.
Yeah. For
and
no
we-
rhyme or reason.
Yeah, we just like to give you some levity. And
Yes.
so we like to do our final segment where you submit a question to our question box,
Mhm.
and you can just drop it in there. All you have to do is click.
Oh, I'm reading it.
Yeah, all you have to do is click the link.
Yeah.
Ask the question.
Yeah.
And then we'll answer it. Because
And it's anonymous.
in this segment, like we're not trying to be your therapist or anything.
No.
We're just trying to help you through a situation.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do that every single week. But in any case, without further ado,
And without further ado,
this is
Asking for a Friend.
Hee hee ha ha.
cue music.
That music is absolutely incredible.
I love it.
Thank you to Kashka.
No, not that one. That was
Oh,
Jordan.
That was Jordan.
Asking for Jordan. Asking for a friend is Jordan. Everything else is Kashka.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Love.
Shout out to our amazing sound people.
We have so many musical.
A
talents.
thousand apologies to Jordan.
That's fine.
But
check the
also-
show notes. The credits are there.
Right. And also toot to Kashka.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who is our incredible theme music and
Yeah.
everything.
Moving on.
Anyways, asking for a friend. This lovely listener says, "How do I know if you're actually burned out or if you built a life you don't like anymore?"
Can I firstly say
Yeah.
the lovely listeners are the best.
Yeah, they are.
This question is so short, it's tight,
Mm-hmm.
but it is so to the point
Yeah.
that I was like, I read it and I was like, yep, that's a great question.
That's a great question.
That's a
I
great
love
question.
that. I know. I love all the lovely listeners that like engage, send us the DM, like message,
Yeah.
comment. Like, it's so nice to hear from you because we have no idea where this is landing. So to hear like some positive feedback or even just like engagement in any way is like wonderful.
It's amazing.
So-
It's so good.
We love when people submit their questions.
Yeah, my quick and fast like friend answer to this
Mm-hmm.
is it might be both. That when you're building a life that you're not so connected to or like satisfied with,
Mhm.
then burnout is probably more likely.
Yeah.
You're more likely to burn out if you don't have that space of joy and connection and fun and like levity and ease and just like if you're not loving your life,
Mhm.
then it's probably going to lead to some effects. Yeah.
Totally. I would agree. I think of like a couple years ago, I was on like on a project that like on the surface was amazing, but then it was just really difficult for a lot of reasons,
Yeah.
interpersonal dynamics and stuff like that. It was just a really difficult project. And I remember like just constantly being burnt out, but like talking about it, being like, like talking in that way. And I remember someone really close to me said to me, like, I hear you, like, you're venting, but also it sounds like you're not happy about what you're doing and
Yeah.
you haven't been for a while.
Yeah.
And for me in that moment, it was like a,
Boom.
oh, shoot, right, I'm not. And that was kind of information enough to
Yeah.
know, like, okay, something has to change.
But to that point, burnout and stress can really disconnect us from that, like knowing that
Yeah.
like something that seems so clear and in our face, but we just
Mhm.
miss it because we're so
No.
in it. And
I think just the fact that this lovely listener is asking this question is probably answer enough. Right?
I think so.
Like, not to pull that card, but
I think so. I think that
Yeah.
this is someone asking like, hey, do I get permission to
like make a change.
maybe make a change and redesign some things?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
like that's what stress is, right? Like it's a reminder for us to probably do something different.
I'm gonna thread the needle.
Oh wait, do it. Thread it.
You're-
One sec. Take my needle.
Okay, can I have
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Can I have
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna thread it with asking for a friend, which we've never done before. Asking for a friend. They're talking about like unmet needs in some capacity, which we just spent 2 segments talking about high maintenance and low maintenance and how to strike that balance, which is talking about your needs and being able to articulate in a way that's clear and kind.
That's it.
There it is.
That's
and
it.
burnout often happens when our needs aren't met or we're, I don't know.
No, that's literally it.
Wow, that's crazy. You see that?
And one of the best part,
What?
you did that without even being prompted to.
I had an idea
That
and
just
I went
came.
with it.
It just came
It
to
just
you.
came to me.
Suddenly, like a dream, it just came to you.
I don't know. I wasn't. It just hit me.
What's it like being perfect?
I don't know.
What's it
You
like
can read it
being,
in my tell-all.
What's it like being exceptional? What's it like being the best?
Do you see? I'm just like,
Crumbling under the weight
crumbling.
of
You're seeing it live, and I'm like, oh,
You know, what's it like being the best?
yeah.
You're probably wondering why I brought you here.
Oh, yeah.
I was wanting to talk about what it's like being so damn smart.
So smart, being
Yeah.
the smartest person in the room all the time, being the prettiest girl at the pageant.
Yeah, exactly.
All
What's
the
it like
time.
being the winner of Survivor?
Always,
Yeah.
yeah, and Drag Race,
Yeah,
yeah, and Real Housewives.
exactly.
All right, lovely
Listen
listeners.
up.
Thank you for being here. If you like what you heard, you can like, comment, subscribe, doing all of those fun things. We are on all the social media platforms, so follow us there. And we say this every week, but my goodness, what happens if you're just listening to this podcast?
You're only getting half the story.
Why is that?
Exactly. That's because people can go and like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Go on YouTube and watch us. There's some visuals there. There's some lovely visuals.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
We're very
gowns.
like hands,
yeah,
mouth, face,
gorgeous gowns.
and you're just hearing beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. on YouTube.
Beautiful gowns.
So head on over to YouTube. Please give us a little subscribe or a follow. That really helps us. So if you want to kind of give us a like, a rating, that is the best way you can do
Yeah.
it. Awesome.
And always check out the show notes because we have all our sources and stuff that we pull from for the episode, as well as the Asking for a Friend submission box,
That's right.
which call out for submissions.
Amazing. Okay. We'll see
All
you
right.
next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
This isn't therapy.
Grant, I quit.
I don't know if that was on me or on you, to be honest, because you were like, 1 second, I have a question and we're going to talk about it in the next segment.
And then you
I'm
said,
like, well, just ask it in the next segment then.
because I'm going
Mary."
to forget.
Okay.
I want to make sure you know.
Right.